There's nothing better than gimbals for making your footage stable and more cinematic. And if you like shooting a lot with your mobile phone or action camera, here's the Moza Mini S. So here is a basic vlogging setup, a real use case scenario that you might utilize the Moza S for. Hello everyone, my name is Michael, and what we do here on the channel is to review and inspect cool tech. So if you like the idea, consider subscribing. This kind of setup, rather basic, the Moza Mini S plus the Pocophone F1. You could enhance it, like the company that manufactures the Moza gimbals, they also have a brand for lighting. So there's a really small cubic light that you can add. It's very functional and very powerful. I'll probably do a separate review about it in a few weeks time. And you can also add an external microphone. Right now I have something which is externally connected to an external recorder, but you can add something that maybe you can mount directly to the smartphone or to the action camera that is being used. Foldable, budget-friendly, well-functional. It is a gimbal that does the job right, won't break your pocket, and doesn't require much of learning, and on top of that is very compact because it folds in half and has a nice carrying back. If you have a smartphone that doesn't have image stabilization at all, or doesn't support it in the maximum resolution, or you hate the artifacts of electronic stabilization, or if you plan to shoot in low light and want to get better results, then it is great to have a gimbal. The Moza S has quite a basic, I'd say even a little bulky and weird looking design, but through awesome features and very good smartphone app, it has a lot of things that are usually typical for more expensive and advanced devices. In this review, I'll speak about the hardware capabilities, the software features including the smartphone app, and we will complete the review with summary about the strengths and weaknesses, and hopefully that all would be of great help to you. Starting with the unboxing. It's exciting because the pack looks nice, closer to a premium fitting, and we seem to get a lot of add-ons in the package. At the time making the video, the price of the gimbal, which you can order from Gudsen's official web store, is just $79 and puts it right next to the entry-level gimbals from Hohem, Feiyu-Tech and Funsnap. This one is different by the form factor though, foldable and, in my opinion, easy to carry. But we can also notice the first drawback: there's no hard carrying case, which in my opinion is a must when it comes to video equipment transportation. Although the folded form is retained even if you push it from the sides because of the click mechanism, it would be good to have better protection. And since we talk downsides, all plastic body, which apparently doesn't look like most of the shiny and quality manufactured devices. I think that thanks to the bulkiness when it is unfolded, this device is durable, and although you may hear cracks when testing the integrity, I think it can survive serious shocks. Also, it is important to know that if it is done out of metal, this will increase the weight, and if you plan to use it for vlogging, it's certainly going to feel uncomfortable after a minute or two of holding it. So, in my opinion, although not feeling great on touch, the choice for plastic as main material here is well justified. Some technical data: panning up to 270 degrees, rolling 315, and tilting 200. Wow, haven't seen such a limited gimbal for quite some time. So if you need to use 360 degrees, the Moza S should certainly join your skip list. But luckily most of the time we won't need that much. It's powered by 2200 mAh battery, operation can continue for more than 8 hours, charging is about an hour and a half. There's Bluetooth connectivity, and thanks to the nice tripod you can find a lot of good use cases for the Moza S. Let's point our attention towards the software features and the operation modes, but first I'll present you the sponsor of this video and an awesome tip for simple video editing. It's called VideoProc, the one-stop video processing software, one of the most affordable and powerful solutions to help you to edit and take the most out of your awesome footage. With full hardware acceleration you can cut, crop, merge and add tons of effects to the scenes you've shot. And this is how easy I can make my action camera video shine. More information about VideoProc you will find in the description below the review. Coming back to the device that was used for stabilizing here, the Moza Mini S. Main controls are done from the joystick, the shutter button and all the operation buttons around it, as well as with the trigger on the other side. Ergonomics is on a decent level, and I find the button placement to be excellent. Before we begin, please take a look at the balancing procedure. The point is to have the phone as balanced as possible, and something which is rare to be seen on a budget gimbal. This claw mechanism has gutter, which allows you to place the phone even if the power or the volume buttons are in that area, which is very nice. No need to explain the power on procedure, so I'm gonna jump straight to the operation modes. When you initially start the gimbal, it's in the default pan follow mode, where the horizontal axis is locked. This is the most common shooting mode. Perhaps more than 50% of the scenes you shoot, that's gonna be good enough and will satisfy your needs. If you hold the trigger, that switches to tilt follow mode. There also is FPV mode, which is following all your hand movements, but avoids the sudden shakes and gives more dynamic perception of the scene, the closest to inbuilt camera stabilization. Pressing twice and holding the trigger is locking all the directions. And now the other two modes we engage from the control ring. Press the down button twice to enter or exit sports mode. And the last mode, which is in my opinion mostly there for marketing, Inception. Because of the motor limits, you can't go for a full circle, but you can still get some interesting looking shots. Took me a while to get used to these modes. Manufacturers have their own different ways of implementing and controlling gimbals, so switching from one brand to another might require you to adapt to a new set of controls. I've made a lot of tests and recorded various scenes, and performance was excellent where applicable. Unfortunately, this gimbal limits the possibility to shoot from few centimeters above the ground, something that many competitors are good at and usually looks quite interesting. There's a powerful smartphone app. I think lately most of the big players on the market have stepped up in this area and have made significant improvements. Moza's app is called Moza Genie and is, in my opinion, easy to navigate once you get used to it. Feels like smartwatch navigation brought to a smartphone app, but works well most of the time and doesn't overload the home screen with too many shortcuts and information. There's a need to connect the app to the gimbal via Bluetooth, and you can take advantage of remote controls only if you shoot with a smartphone. There are really a lot of modes: resolution selection, time-lapse features, motion-lapse features. I think it has everything that a passionate smartphone videographer would need and ask for. And of course the object tracking capability, which works not only with face tracking but also follows objects. You already have seen a lot of footage and samples shot with the Moza S and Poco phone or an action camera. Most often that was the Osmo Action. Perhaps you've made up your mind already, so let's summarize together. Hardware, which is not too convincing, but operation and software managed to really boost the experience and turn it into something pleasing, while some of the features are clearly marketing way to attract customers, like the INCEPTION mode. I have to say that despite its few flaws, the Moza Mini S is a good gimbal for its money and one of the nice purchases you can make for a smartphone/action cam stabilizer. But at the end, would you tell me, concerning smartphone or action cam photography, would you go for mid-range phone with a foldable gimbal, or you would invest in a better device with awesome stabilization like GoPro or Osmo Action, skipping an investment in a gimbal? Tell me what you think in the comments below. That's been all about this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and support me using the tools below. Like, dislike, subscribe, share. These buttons are designed to be used. See ya!